Hi, I'm Vasundhara. I welcome all of you for this brand new episode of Nav Durga Series. What is Nav Durga Series? 9 different challenges of today's women. We are discussing with 9 powerful women and explore and find out probable solutions. For our earlier episodes, we have got lots of love and support from all of you. Messages keep pouring in, and we are thanking from bottom of our hearts for all of this. So let's get on to today's topic. Parenting. Yes, it's difficult, challenging in today's world. Is it tougher when we say it's single parent? Definitely. But what we would like to focus today on is when the single parent is woman, is it an uphill task? Why, we may probably ask. Yes, the financial burden is totally on her. There is a lot of societal pressure. Even in today's world, is she forced to get remarried? Does she feel guilty? Does she not find the time and chance to focus on her child's growth, his activity, or spend a quality time? How are the legal issues that she has to handle each day? Is it really difficult when it's a woman? And for that, we have our Durga today. Our Durga today is Dr. Sucheta Mehta. She has worked for 3 decades in medical field and now working with corporate company. Her profession allows her to interact with many people in a day. She's an artist by heart, and she herself has been a single parent for more than 20 years. Let's welcome our Durga, Dr. Sucheta Mehta. We'll be talking to her and discussing all these questions and many more. And let's see what are the probable solutions all the way forward. Thank you so much, Dr. Sucheta Mehta.
Thank you so much.
And thank you so much for accepting our invite for this interview of Navadurga series. To begin with, I just want to ask you, when I asked you for accepting this invite on Navadurga series, and I told you the topic, what came to your mind? Because frankly speaking, Suchita, there are a lot of members, in my network. There are a lot of friends, and I spoke to all of them, and they kind of shied away from talking on this topic. They are brilliant in their profile currently. They're doing really well, but this topic still remains a taboo. They still don't want to now declare it to the world because this interview will be coming on social media. And even when I said this is not specifically about you, this is, we're focusing on the topic, so it's going to be like generic problems and generic questions that you may have your own personal experiences, but also drawn from everybody else. Still, there was little hesitance from them. So, what is it? Why is it that you think people still don't want to talk on this topic of single parenting?
So, to begin with, what I went through, a lot of emotions. Should I do it? Should I not? But then I realized that it is very important to talk about this. We are talking about educating our children in number of things, and this point is also important. What is also important is that the society now understands and accepts this issue, which we are seeing rising even in India. It is not a taboo or still a taboo. It all depends on the place the lady is or the woman is. In the interiors versus metros or urban places, things are a bit different. But some problems are common, irrespective of where she is staying. So there are number of challenges, but I think it is there. As you said, we all are Durgas. We all can overcome it. Sometimes a little help is required. Sometimes a little insight is required. Sometimes you need to become stronger because nobody has expected this. Nobody has foreseen this. And when it happens, when a lady becomes a single parent, that is the time when so many questions are asked, and the first thing that happens is she starts feeling guilty. Did her marriage did not work out because of herself?
Because
And
all the, I think, fingers are just pointing towards her.
exactly. So when I have spoken to number of females who are single parents, and as you said, this discussion is about the topic and not me. There are multiple of women who still doubt after many years that could I have done something to save my marriage. I think that is the main fundamental part, that you need to overcome that and move ahead. Move ahead in life, have a focus, and your child is going to become your focus. So that is the main anchoring part to make a woman go on. Changes that you asking, number of changes, name changes, place changes, maybe city changes, maybe country changes. So it all depends on the mindset of the female at that time. She is having a big emotional baggage, and she has to first get herself calmed down
Address that.
and address that so that she can look forward. So a lot of issues with regarding to name, as you know, name of the lady, name of the child. So many females I know who have gone and changed their names to the maternal name. Many have kept them because it was more convenient for them. It's not always that the child's name needs to be changed, but it is up to each individual where they want to change it. Anybody can go to the Gazette office and get their name changed with an affidavit. It is easier now than before. Online also it can be done. Other than that, place changes. For example, her profession may change, or if she was not working before, she may need to start working and become financially independent. And that, I think, is the biggest issue, that each woman should be financially independent right from the start. Not saying that anything like that should happen to anybody,
True.
but it should be that she has financial independence even if she is married.
So true, because it just happens all of a sudden. The world comes crashing. She is broken emotionally inside.
Totally.
And at this time, I think the societal help, or at least people from her family, should stand for a support. Definitely, you in that, you belong to that group where you got that support. But there are
Totally.
many women who lack that support also, because as soon as she is into this challenge, I think family just suddenly withdraws their support, and now you are on your own. And she has to first accept that this is a problem now, and she's a lone soldier who is going to fight the entire battle, and then she has to actually start taking the steps. So I think family really needs to support her big time.
I feel family definitely. There have been places where a single parent has stayed alone or with the family. It all depends on the socio-economic structure of that family. So that is one important point. Again, comes back to financial independence for the woman.
Correct.
Other than that, I think a strong support of family, friends, and other women around, that network is very important. You have to understand that this female has left her house, gone to somebody else's house, and now coming back to the house. All her friends, her network has fizzled out. She needs to rebuild that network, and that also is challenging. She all the time gets judged that why is she a single parent, though nobody will say things on her face. So that also becomes one challenge, that does she upfront tell everybody and seek help. I feel that being honest is most important.
Absolutely.
And I feel that once you are honest, there are a lot of people out there in similar situation who will come up and said that somebody in my family is also going through the same thing. So it makes you feel that you're not alone. And then the network starts building. And this support system is very important.
Yeah.
One of the best advice I got was that whatever you can outsource, please outsource. Whatever is your core strength, you do it yourself. That makes a woman more happy.
She's
with
relaxed
herself.
on certain front.
Absolutely. Yeah. So if you're not a good cook, don't be wanting to cook for your child. You can easily outsource in the form of keeping a cook. I'm not meaning the takeouts and takeaways. What I meant was having a cook. Also, where studies are concerned, because the woman is independent financially, she may not be available for the child as any other mother would be. And that guilt is always there with them. So it's best to spend quality time with the child rather than quantity, and also be available for the child. There's a lot of societal pressure for the sanskar being given by the mother and mother being available for the child. Also, in schools, they expect the mother or
To be
the
available for
available every
meeting and
meeting. Choose your battle wisely.
so
There is
so
not required. It's not required to be there for everything. You need to know what is important, and you can let go what is less important.
absolutely. While you were answering this question, when you mentioned guilt, I think guilt is a big challenge with women because she's a
Totally.
very, very emotional person. Even when she's working and with complete, family, even when she's not a single parent. When I conduct this workshop, Durga, I hear them saying when they are at work, they feel guilty because the child is alone and they are not doing all that a typical mother is expected to do. When they are at home, they still feel guilty because they are not, giving,
The best.
justice to what they are supposed to do in their
True.
professional environment. And I jokingly say it's exactly like eating pani puri. You eat it, you feel guilty. You don't eat it, you feel guilty. So eat it and feel guilty. You at least are happy.
Pani
So
puri.
yeah, so taking it on a little lighter note, I completely agree to what you said. You just can't be a superwoman which society expects you to be. So, how you were a typical mother, you want to be that, all of that. Now you want to be a working woman, and now you want to be a father also. So, it's just humanly impossible. And be gentle on yourself is what I think I heard when you were answering the question.
Absolutely.
I think that was all about what you said was from the mother's perspective or the woman's perspective. But the most important part is the child, especially if the child is very, very small, not even talking, very small baby, I think we will slowly grow with it. But if the child is already, in school or at least junior KG, senior KG, what happens on that side? That little mind is just wondering, why this thing has suddenly changed, or why my house is suddenly shattered, and why people are asking me these questions which I'm not supposed to be answering. So what happens on that side, and how does again the responsibility on mother only to handle this aspect and keep it as gentle and as flowing as possible? Because tomorrow these small instances may remain in the child's mind and they may become really big. So it's huge responsibility on the woman
Totally.
and mother. So how do you suggest either how you handled it or how do you see women handling it?
So I think there are two perspectives here, as you said, a child being too young or a child being old enough to understand that the life has changed. When the child is too young, I think it is very important, and really the um, mother is responsible on how the child is not burdened with her guilt, her issues, and also child is happy.
Correct.
I think the main thing is that the mother is happy, if the mother is,
You said
very calm in the decision that she has taken, not second guessing herself, not going into the self pity,
pity.
that eventually will be seen in the child who is
Correct.
going to be grown as a confident young adult.
Oh,
But for those children where there is co-parenting, or also where they have understood, I think being honest with a child is very important. Children are very resilient, and if you sit with them, talk it out to them, I think they will understand, and that is very important. Keeping transparency during co-parenting, I think one of the best things a parent could do for their child is not malice the other parent in the child's mind. Then that child will grow up to be a very good young loving adult. Otherwise, in the fight between the parents, the child's mind is also affected. So that is very important. Other thing is, I mean, for example, the the first thing the child is generally asked, what is your name? What is your father's name? What is your mother's name? And I think there you need to keep your child updated on what is happening in their life. And I think a lot of schools now do understand this. Still, father's name is always asked for, like, in the forms.
Correct.
One of the thing in school that is there is also that the financial status is also asked, and that may be again coming back to being a woman, being financially independent.
So crucial.
So many schools think that how will this person take care of the fees and the other extracurricular activities if the person is not financially stable. Other thing is talking to the teachers when the class changes every year, and informing the class teacher upfront that this is the issue, because the child is too small to understand. And slowly, as the child grows, as per the capacity of the child, it is important to be open about things, because the child is in the society, seeing his or her friends having a dad, seeing the dads in the family, neighborhood, and always wondering why it's not there for me.
So true. So, in fact, been my observation also that initial period is very, very crucial. If you handle it well, the child grows up and becomes a buddy with mother. I've
Totally.
always seen them then,
The
they are like
bond is
friends. The
amazing.
bond is so amazing, be it girl, child, or you have a son. The bond is amazing. But if in that crucial period, if it is not handled well, the child grows with lot of questions of why, and why did it happen with me, and he closes from the world, and he just develops as a little complicated person, is what has been my observation. So I think what you said is very, very right. Being open, completely being transparent, and whatever age the child is, he or she understands. We feel they won't, but I think they really understand, and that's the crux, I believe.
And they are quite independent. Slowly and surely they become independent. One other thing is the peer pressure.
Correct.
The mothers are sending the children for so many classes, and a working single mother is not able to do it, both financially or time wise.
Yeah, time wise,
And that becomes a big difficulty to make the child understand why they are not going for the dancing class, or why they are not going for the skating class when everybody in their own class is going. I think that time again, trying to use the support system becomes very important if possible. If not, look for weekend classes, late evening classes. That would also help.
I think today online is also available. That
Absolutely,
can be also big
that
help.
is a big
Earlier
help.
it was not possible, but today online is available, so you can use that. So just make the best of whatever resource you have, and move ahead from wherever you are. Wonderful. But Suchita, things will happen, and certain challenges will keep coming in. You will keep going from one mood swing to the other.
Totally.
It's not really easy to keep yourself positive. So what are those things that you personally did, or you would suggest others to keep doing, so that they keep themselves positive? Because ultimately I believe, as a behavioral trainer, nothing matters but your positive mindset will determine everything that's around you. So what did you do that keeps your smile intact like this,
Thank
Suchita?
you. So I think one thing is your own self, what personality you are, and how you have grown, how you've taken these challenges head on, rather than dwell into why did it happen and what I could have done and go into the self pity mode. How about looking forward? How about looking what best I can do now, what best I can do for my child, and not feeling upset if you're not able to do 100 things for your child, but if you're doing only 5 and you're doing with them the best, I think that is very important. So being calm within, being understanding of the situation, no blame game to anybody, not even to your own self, and that is important. You should. I'm blessed with very amazing family, friend support my networking, and that is very important. As I said, if I was not able to pick up my child, a friend would do so for me, and that networking kind of a thing. I think each woman should be that, having that network irrespective of the marital status, because that becomes very important even for the child. So that helped me. Being grounded helped me. I think my education helped me. And meeting so many people with similar problems. We all are in different boats, but in the same storm. So understanding that you're not alone, and there's no big deal about it. And that makes you positive, and you change for your child. Being a lady who is maybe a housewife or a timid, weak, as they feel.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that they
No,
are.
no, she's Durga. When the time comes, she takes out
Absolutely.
all her weapons.
So that I think makes you go
So
on.
true, so true. Just the last question before we have message for Durgas. The legal aspects, if you could just share some light on it, because I know government has come up with lot of now, amendments and laws which are favoring women when she is a single parent. But are there still certain issues and challenges that you think society and government needs to look into?
I think the main legal battle starts from the divorce part, I think, because I think that has become easier now. I think a lady can file for a divorce from wherever she's staying. That becomes easier rather than running around and going to different cities for the cases.
Oh, that was really wonderful discussion and very inspiring to listen from Dr. Sucheta. So, what's your message for all the Durgas out there who are maybe single parents, struggling and feeling really challenged, overwhelmed? What do you suggest them? Uh, how do you become really that Durga?
So first you have to realize that you are Durga. I think that becomes that strength is there in you, and accept what has happened. Do not dwell into the faults and the guilt and all those things. I think if you are calm inside, the road becomes clearer ahead. Other than that, as they say, you cannot pour from an empty cup. So, so you need to be happy inside to make your child happy, to have a happy environment around. And for that, two things are important. One being financially independent, and other thing is also having a hobby or a passion to pursue. Something for me time. How do you take it out? It's very difficult. Believe me, it's very difficult for every single parent to be taking out time because of the guilt that is there. If she is out with her friends, she's feeling guilty of leaving the child alone. Forget the work, and that societal pressure is still there, that the child is alone at home and she's
Having
roaming
fun?
around,
Yeah.
having fun.
Yeah.
But I think it is sometimes
It's
required
due. It's
to
we deserve
recharge
that
your
for us.
battery. And that is there for everyone.
Everyone.
It's not just a single parent.
So,
So I think recharging your battery, find your button to recharge. It could be just a walk, or a movie, or just sitting by the beach, or doing some hobby work, whatever it may be. Or it could be just 1 hour of good OTT content. It could be anything. But once you have that, I think a daily dose of recharge is very important. And if you are happy, you will keep your child happy.
absolutely. Thank you so much, Dr. Sucheta.
Thank
It
you,
was
Akka.
just wonderful talking to you. And I think all Durgas out there are feeling charged already. And thanks so much.
Thank you.